We're shaking people. Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran. And we're going back to the 1997 concert at Pleasure Island, and I'm very excited for this one. And once more, shout out to Adam for not only making a large amount of material available, including a lot of Duran, a lot of live Duran that we still need to go through. But there was a point where he had to take his archive, he had to like refresh it, and there was going to be a couple of days where maybe I wasn't going to be able to react to things, and he made a point to reach out to me and make sure that anything that I needed to react to in the next couple of days was going to be up there. So once again, shout out to Adam for sharing a whole lot of music, including Duran, and for being so helpful to my channel and to the music journeys that we're going on. So big ups to you. And we're going to listen to a really special one this time. It's one that's in my all-time pantheon of Duran tunes. People will know Midazolam, probably my favorite album. I really do love the self-titled and Rio albums as well as All You Need Is Now, Paper Gods. I mentioned it before, like there's not a bad album in the bunch, and I do think a bunch of the early ones and a bunch of the more recent ones are particularly excellent. So yeah, ultimately, you know, when you had a career that's more than 40 years and you're making albums that to me are on the same level as some of the best stuff you've done for which you are most famous, that's a pretty good sign. But despite that, again, maybe Midazolam is my favorite album. I just love the experimental, dark, but also deeply emotional feeling of the album, the contrast between the dissonant and the consonant and so on. So within that context, Out of My Mind, which I want to give a big shout out to Izzy and a number of other folks who helped explain to me that song, or this song, and Ordinary World, and there's one other one that in the moment I am forgetting, I do apologize, but that they all relate to Simon's friend from youth. I believe David Miles is the name, and he passed away in the 80s from drug-related issues, and I think it hit Simon very hard. And again, I think it was Izzy who was saying that even to this very day, when Simon talks about him, he can become quite emotional. And, you know, that's the kind of thing that I think expresses someone's humanity when, you know, there's someone who hasn't been around for a long time, but the emotional importance of that person is still keenly felt. So I think Simon's humanity came across when I realized what these songs were about, this suite of songs. And this one, it's a really beautiful song. It has the shadowy, a bit echoic, a bit inside-out feel that a lot of this album exudes, but it is very powerful to me emotionally. And again, you know, it's not, Duran wasn't a group that I had followed in great detail, but catching up on their material and understanding that this is something that Simon would come back to over time, it just makes it very powerful for me. So again, I love this album, I love this song, and on some level I've come to appreciate the deep gravity and significance of it. So again, this is 97 when they're performing at Pleasure Island, so this is, you know, the year the album came out. So yeah, ultimately, again, I think Adam and a couple others explained that, you know, whatever they've done on an album, when they do a tour, they sort of commit to a certain type of sound, a certain rendering or understanding of the songs they play. So yeah, I don't necessarily expect it to be identical to the studio version, but again, this is a song that's very fresh in its history. So yeah, and again, I think it was Izzy was saying that he enjoys hearing live stuff from this album because over time the percentage or the amount of tunes they play from this album has diminished. So ultimately, yeah, I love this album. I'm looking forward to hearing the live performance of this very special song. Let's get it. This is Duran Duran, Out of My Mind, live from Pleasure Island in 1997.
Fingers in my brain, ever gentle as it kills me where I lay. Who am I to resist? not know, and I wonder, do you ever feel the same? In the whispering darkness, do you ever hear my name? Got to get you out of my mind, but I can't escape from the feeling as I try to leave the memory behind. Without you, what's left to believe in? You're mine. Deep in the back of your mind. How could you dare to become so real when you're just a ghost in me? And I've got to get you out of my mind, but I can't escape from the feeling as I try to leave the memory behind. Without you, what's left to believe in? Here in the back of your mind. Deep in the back of your mind.
I like his dark psychedelic delivery of those lines.
Here in the back of your mind.
What's up, man?
Deep in the back of your mind. Deep in the back of your mind.
Again, it's a masterpiece. Do we have afters? No. Honestly, it's like I've listened to that tune a number of times, more than some other Duran tunes over the last few months as I continue on, but continue to go back. And indeed, I have a CD booklet in my car. That's how old school I am. And a large number of the CDs in the booklet are Duran. But again, this is a song I keep coming back to. It's one that, again, the significance and depth of it has increased to my mind, or to my understanding over time. And yeah, like I said, I think the chorus and maybe other aspects are particularly well suited to Simon's vocal singing or vocal quality and style. I think the nature of the song is it's sweet and reflective, but there's a twist to it. And again, he said, like, I wish I could just leave this behind and move on, but I can't. Like, how are you so real when you should be a ghost? It's just the power of the lines. So it's everything. It's everything that makes Duran great, I think, is in this song. Or let's say most things. Again, I know not every one of the classic lineup is in the group at this point, and I know, like, it's a complicated time for the history of the group, but it's amazing to me how good this album is given all those considerations. So top tune, again, Pantheon track. Still probably The Chauffeur is my favorite. Maybe 1B is Careless Memories, but this one's right there. This one is at the main Pantheon table. So let me know what you think of this performance. I will see you next time. Peace.